The Celestial Council's assembly hall, a sprawling construct of obsidian and luminescent alloys, floated serenely in the nebula of Aldarian 7. Every ambassador from the galaxy's hundreds of species was present, seated in concentric rings of levitating platforms. Above them loomed the Prime Arbiter's throne, a crystalline monolith shimmering with every spectrum of light. It was a setting of grandeur, but today, tension suffused the air. The human delegation's platform was conspicuously empty. Ambassador Talrek of the Juvran Dominion, a six-limbed insectoid species with iridescent carapaces, clicked his mandibles in irritation. Typical humans, he said, his voice a harsh buzz. They refused to participate in the aftermath of their incident. Ambassador Jorvek of the Corvin Alliance, a towering reptilian with crimson scales, growled. An incident does not annihilate an entire armada, Talrek. Call it what it is, retaliation. Before Talrek could respond, the Prime Arbiter, a translucent being of pure energy known as Solara, raised an ethereal appendage. Order in the hall. We are here to address humanity's actions against the Voran Dominion and the repercussions for the wider galaxy. Talrek leaned forward, his compound eyes gleaming with malice. Humanity has violated the concord of unity. They must face consequences. The Vorans violated humanity first, Jorvek interjected. We cannot ignore their years of provocations. The hall erupted into a cacophony of voices. Accusations, defenses, and denials ricocheted across the chamber. But then, the chamber dimmed, the light from the Prime Arbiter's throne flickering ominously. Enough, Solara intoned, their voice resonating like a symphony. The human representative has arrived. Gasps rippled through the hall as a single human figure materialized on the platform. Dressed in stark black, with a stoic expression that betrayed no emotion, Ambassador Ilara Monroe surveyed the assembly. Her piercing blue eyes seemed to pierce through the veil of decorum that the council clung to. You summoned me, she said, her voice calm but firm. Here I am. Solara's light flared. Ambassador Monroe, you stand accused of crimes against galactic peace. Do you deny that humanity's fleet destroyed the Voran Armada and their primary colony world, Voras Prime? Ilara's gaze did not waver. I deny nothing. The hall erupted again, voices clamoring for punishment or justification. Solara silenced them with a wave of light. Explain yourself, Ambassador. Humanity's actions have disrupted the balance of the galaxy. Ilara's lips curled into a faint smile. Disrupted? No, Arbiter. We have restored balance. The seeds of humanity's rebellion were sown long before the annihilation of Voras Prime. For centuries, humanity had been a reluctant member of the Celestial Concord. They had joined in good faith, eager to collaborate with their interstellar neighbors. But the galaxy had other plans. Trade restrictions crippled humanity's fledgling colonies. Scientific oversight committees declared humanity's technological advancements too dangerous and seized research deemed a threat to galactic stability. Expansion zones were revoked, and carefully negotiated treaties were torn apart under the guise of preserving peace. The final insult came from the Vorans, a militant species known for their ruthless territorial ambitions. Under the Council's watchful eyes, they began encroaching on human space. Skirmishes escalated, but humanity, bound by the Concord's laws, showed restraint. Then came New Horizon. A thriving human colony on the edge of the galaxy, New Horizon was an agricultural paradise, feeding millions. When the Vorans attacked, they targeted the colony's food production facilities first, ensuring maximum civilian suffering. The human fleet was forced to stand down, watching helplessly as fires consumed the planet. By the time the Council intervened, it was too late. Over 10 million lives were lost. Humanity mourned. Then, they began to prepare. Ambassador Monroe stood before the Council, her expression unreadable. For 3 decades, humanity endured indignity after indignity. We appealed to this council repeatedly, only to be dismissed as upstarts who didn't know their place. She activated a holographic display. Images of New Horizons' destruction filled the hall, smoldering cities, shattered domes, and mass graves. This was our reward for patience, for obedience, for trusting in your laws. Talrek clicked his mandibles angrily. The Voran actions were regrettable, but they do not justify genocide. Alara's gaze snapped to him, ice cold. Genocide? Spare me your sanctimony, Talrek. Humanity's response was surgical. The Voran fleet, their war factories, their command centers destroyed. Not a single civilian target was touched. We showed more restraint than they ever did. Jorvek tilted his head thoughtfully. And yet, you've vanished from our sensors. Your fleets, your colonies, even your people. Where is humanity, Ambassador? Alara's faint smile returned. Preparing for what Solara demanded, their light dimming. Alara stepped forward, her voice rising. For the threats you refuse to acknowledge. While you bicker over trade routes and mining rights, humanity has looked into the void and seen what's coming. You should be thanking us, not condemning us. She gestured, and the holographic display changed. It now showed fragmented images of massive, shadowy entities lurking beyond the galaxy's edge. These are the apex strain, predators of civilizations. They do not negotiate, they do not show mercy. And they are coming. The assembly froze, stunned into silence. While the council underestimated humanity, the species quietly revolutionized itself. The trade restrictions, they learned to produce more with less. The scientific oversight, it drove them underground, where they developed technologies far beyond the council's understanding. Quantum manipulation, temporal engineering, and energy harnessing that bordered on the miraculous. Most importantly, humanity united. The petty divisions of old Earth dissolved in the face of a common enemy. Their fleets became ghostly phantoms, capable of striking anywhere and vanishing without a trace. Their people learned to survive in harsh conditions, turning even the most inhospitable worlds into fortresses. When the Vorans attacked New Horizon, they didn't just ignite humanity's wrath. They activated a plan centuries in the making. You dare to threaten us, Talrek hissed, his carapace flaring in anger. We are the Celestial Concord. We have ruled this galaxy for millennia. Ilara's laugh was sharp and humorless. Rule? You've squabbled over scraps while pretending to be gods. Humanity's patience snapped, yes, but not out of hatred or revenge. It snapped because you are not prepared for what lies beyond. As she spoke, the chamber shook. Lights flickered and alarms blared. A junior counselor's voice rang out in panic. Unidentified fleets have appeared in every major system. They're human. Ilara's calm never wavered. We gave you centuries to change. You refused. Now you will watch and learn. The holographic displays shifted again, showing human fleets dismantling council defenses with precision. Ships moved like liquid, phasing through enemy fire. Planetside fortresses were neutralized without a single shot, their power grids disabled by quantum viruses. Civilian populations were untouched, but every military target was obliterated. For hours, the Council watched in stunned silence as humanity dismantled the galaxy's most powerful forces. But Ilara's final message was the most chilling. This is not a conquest, she said. We have no interest in ruling you. But the era of complacency is over. From this day forward, humanity will guide this galaxy, not out of arrogance but necessity. Her voice softened, almost gentle. We have seen the apex strain. We know their capabilities, their merciless efficiency. They exist to consume and obliterate, to strip away everything that makes a civilization unique and leave behind nothing but silence. She paused, her gaze sweeping over the council, locking onto each ambassador in turn. And yet, all of you chose to waste your time bickering over territories and trade routes. You allowed your arrogance to blind you to the true threat. Humanity has no such luxury. We have been preparing for this for centuries. Solara's crystalline form flickered, their voice trembling with uncertainty. And what is it you expect from us, Ambassador Monroe? To follow humanity's lead without question. To relinquish our sovereignty. Alara's lips twitched into a faint smile. No, humanity doesn't want to rule. We're not offering submission. We're offering survival. What you do with that offer is your choice, but make no mistake, the apex strain will not negotiate. They will not wait for your debates. They will come, and they will devour. The chamber fell into a heavy silence, broken only by the faint hum of the holographic displays. Talrek clicked his mandibles nervously. And if we choose to stand apart, if we refuse to align ourselves with humanity. Alara's expression turned cold. Then you will fall alone. Humanity has sacrificed too much, worked too hard, to be dragged down by those too stubborn to see the truth. But understand this, the apex strain will not discriminate. Whether you stand with us or against us, they will find you. The silence that followed was oppressive. Finally, Jorvik spoke, his deep voice filled with reluctant respect. Humanity's actions have shown their capability. If what you say about this apex strain is true, then perhaps we have misjudged your people. Alara inclined her head slightly. Your misjudgment is not my concern. Your survival is. Deliberate quickly, counselors. The apex strain does not wait. Without another word, she stepped back onto her platform, her form shimmering into light as she disappeared. The council chamber remained still, the weight of her words pressing heavily on every delegate present.